Hello folks, this is Sullla once again. We're going to be looking at another game here for League of Legends, and we're going to be looking at one here in Spectator mode. So I'm going to be doing a test once again with trying to do one of these commentaries live. And what we're going to be doing is trying to look at a different champ here. One of the neat things about Spectator mode is I can look at different champs. So I had gotten some different comments from different people. A couple people said, hey, what's up with MookieNJ? How come you never show him in any of your videos anymore? So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to spectate Mookie, and we're going to see what he's up to in one of these games. And in fact, notice that we're joining just slightly after the game has started, so I wasn't able to time it perfectly. But if you look at the matchups of what we've got here, we have on the blue team, we have Nidalee, Kog'Maw, Tristana, Maokai, and Soraka playing against Caitlyn, Swain, Xin Zhao, Vladimir, and Volibear. So we have some interesting lineups here. So yeah, we never really see Xin Zhao very much because he is not a particularly good champ. So let's just follow Mookie around in this game and see what happens, because honestly, like I said, this is a live commentary and I don't quite know what's going to happen either. So give a little bit of a chance to talk about a champion who hardly ever seems to get played in this game. Biggest issue with Xin Zhao is he does not have any scaling on any of his abilities. So he's decently strong early in the game, but he scales horrendously in the late game because, again, as I said, his abilities don't scale off of AD or AP. In top lane, we have Nidalee against Vlad, and wow, the Snow Leopard Nidalee skin, a very rare skin, kind of interesting here. We have Maokai against Swain in mid. It looks like that's because Tristana has disconnected. And then we have Kog'Maw Soraka against Volibear and Caitlyn. Wow. Anyway, well, that's the first blood right there. So support Volibear? That sounds really terrible, but it seems to be working out okay here in this particular game. Anyway, so we'll try to keep the focus on Xin Zhao in this matchup. And this is the Winged Hussar Xin Zhao skin right there. Kind of hard to see, but there it is. Let's just zoom in so people can see it. Anyway, looks like we will have a gank coming in top lane from Mookie along with Vlad against this Nidalee. Nidalee is very overly exposed, very pushed up in lane. Let's see if she's going to be able to get out of it. There is the dash in. There's the flash out. Will that be enough to get her? Mookie does have flash. I think he should have flashed onto Nidalee as soon as she used her flash. I think if he had immediately flashed onto her with that red buff, I think he would have been able to get that kill, but chose not to go for it in any case. So looks like it was not successful. Here he is coming around for another gank, but Nidalee tossing down the trap. So let's try to go through and cover Xin Zhao's skills. Again, I don't really know that much about him. Here's his passive, Tireless Warrior. Every third basic attack heals him for 30 health, so it's one that you have to be auto-attacking to use. I think Nidalee knows that you're there. Maybe not, though. Anyway, Nidalee's flash is down now, so we should get the charge in. We should get the knock-up on the 3-tone strike. And there we go. Mookie's going to burn his flash in the end, and he is going to get that kill. Not drawing first blood because it was already taken in bottom lane. But anyway, there we go. So the Q, 3-talon strike. Xin Zhao unleashes a fearsome combo. Next 3 standard attacks deal physical damage, and the final one knocks the opponent up into the air. Note the scaling here. Notice how it's plus 71 damage. It's just whatever your attack damage is the bonus damage on that skill. And wow, the Kate and Volibear getting another kill. Let's back up and see how it happened, because this is spectator mode and we can do that. So we've gone back 15 seconds. Let's check it out. Let's see what happens here. How did this happen? Volibear runs out. Oh, flings onto the Caitlyn trap. That's pretty silly, but it did actually work out. Now we'll speed it back up to get back to live action. Wow, somebody just used Summoner Heal. Wow, Kate just used her Summoner Heal for no reason at all. Anyway, looks like there's another fight going on. Here comes Maokai. He's going to flash in. He does have a ward for vision. Going after Volibear. Volibear is chasing after Cog. Will he get this kill? He is not going to get Cog. Volibear is very low. He is going to fall right there. Tristana now coming into the fight as well. Caitlyn, I don't know what she's doing. Trist is doing a lot of damage, but Trist is only level 2 because of the DC, and Kate's going to polish off that kill. So very chaotic action right there. It looks like it was... I'm not exactly sure what the final total was, but it was quite chaotic there. Kate ended up getting 2 kills in that particular exchange, and meanwhile Mookie is just clearing his jungle. Maybe could have gone down there, maybe not. This Tristana is AP Trist, by the way. Note the Doran's ring coming out, but that disconnect meant that she was only level 2. Swain should have followed Trist down the bottom lane. Really should have followed. It looks like Mookie's going to invade the jungle right here. I'm not quite sure what he's building. It looks like he's going for Berserker Greaves first. I'm assuming he's going to have to build a Wriggles Note that there's his passive kicking in on every third attack. So Xin Zhao, I mean, early game, he's not a bad jungler. He can sustain himself well, but he just falls off so badly the longer the game goes on that he's never played competitively. He's kind of like a joke pick. Let's see if he chooses to go after Maokai right here. Nope, looks like he's not going to. We'll see if he goes for the gank. Anyway, Mookie is leveling his Audacious Charge. This is his gap closer where he dashes in. Doesn't look like there's any ward coverage down here. Already one kill picked off. Now an exhaust coming in on that Kog'Maw, and he is not making it out of here. Mookie is going to grab that kill. And Cog's passive is not going to end up doing very much here. So yeah, trying to highlight these skills. Again, Xin Zhao's E, his Audacious Charge, charges an enemy unit, deals magic damage, and slows. This is his gap closer right there, what he uses to get up on top of someone. And then his, what is his W? Battle Cry. Passive increases attack speed. Active doubles the bonus for 5 seconds. And no, gonna make the move to take Dragon. This is a good call. Note that the enemy team's jungler is in top lane. Maokai is up in top, ganking Vlad. Are they going to be able to get this kill? Yes, the Ignite will polish it off. But with the jungler being in top, that means this is a good time to take Dragon. They do need to switch off the aggression. There it goes. So a nice call right there, deciding to cash in their huge dominance in bottom lane and use it to, and the fact that the jungler was in top in order to take that Dragon. Alright, here's Mookie again. Let's see if he's going to go for this Trist. Doesn't look like it. Looks like he's going to back off right there. Well, and there it is. There's the Audacious Charge. There's the Battle Cry. There's the knock-up on the three, what is it, the 3 Talon Strike, I believe it is. Yep. So that's the basic combo. Use your E to dash in, pop your W for the bonus attack speed, and then use your Q to knock them up. Here it is again, dashing in, and up. There was the ultimate there right at the end. Mookie has hit 6, where he does that great huge swing of his spear. That's Xin Zhao's ultimate. That is his crescent sweep there. You can see deals 125 plus 15% of their current health. And is Mookie going to go for this? I think he is. He does get the kill. Now, can he get out without dying to the tower? No, not able to. So 1 for 1, and that was not worth it because Mookie was on a killing spree. 3 kills. He was 3-0, so he gives Trist a little bit of extra bonus gold for ending that killing spree. Meanwhile, though, his team is really far ahead bottom. They're ahead 5 kills in the bottom lane right now. Caitlyn 203 in the bottom lane. Although this is a little bit, well, not a little bit. This is definitely low on the farming side. So bottom lane is way ahead. Apparently this support Volibear thing is working, although it feels really silly to me. There's literally one thing that they're doing. He's standing here, and he's picking up someone and flinging them onto a trap, and that's literally all he's doing. We did just have a kill in top lane. Let's go back and check it out right here between Vlad and Nidalee. Let's see, who is ahead up here? Vlad is actually ahead in this lane. Here comes the dive, and that's a little bit silly. Is that Hemoplague going to finish off Nidalee? Yes, it is. So that's how that kill happened. Okay, nice job, Vlad. So he's going to get further ahead afterwards. Let's check it out. Oh, Maokai face checking into the brush right there. He's going to walk into that Swain Never Move route. There comes the flash out. Do they have the damage to finish off this kill on the tree? And there it is, going to get finished off. So Mookie 4-1-0 right now as Jungle Xin Zhao. He does have his Wriggles, as I predicted he would go for that, and he has his Berserker Greaves dashing in after Trist as well. So again, Xin Zhao fine in early game. Like I said, the biggest issue is look at his skills. He does get his AD on his 3 Talon Strike, but I believe he gets no scaling on any other skill. No scaling on Battle Cry, no scaling on Audacious Charge, no scaling on Crest. Actually, I guess he has an AP ratio on Audacious Charge, but you're not gonna do that. Anyway, there's a fight going on in bottom lane. Caitlyn ult coming out, not able to pick up the kill on Soraka right there, and oh wow, he did not give blue to Swain there. That I'm guessing that was a mistake. It looked like they were setting up for Swain to take it, so that's a little bit silly right there. But still 4-1 right now in the jungle as Xin Zhao, and the team is way ahead 4,000 global gold this early in the match. So in good shape here overall for this particular match. I have no idea what Mookie will build next because I never see anyone play Xin Zhao, so I don't know what he's going to go for next. Xin Zhao is sort of infamous in League of Legends for being brokenly overpowered on his release. Extremely strong in release, and is he going to dash in with the charge? There it is. Triss going to use her Buster Shot to knock him back, and that's not going to be a kill right there. But did get Triss ultimate down, so that's not too shabby. It'll be down for what, about 60 seconds? 48. Yeah, so it'll be down for a little bit. Here's the red buff. Again, Xin Zhao needs red to be scary. He's not really that dangerous unless he gets red buff, but with red, he will be slowing on every auto attack. It does make him a much scarier jungler to have to deal with. There is a ward up here in top lane, so we'll see. Nidalee should back when she sees him coming in. Let's see, and there's the pounce. Should be fine to get out of this. And indeed, that ward serving its purpose up there in top lane. Overall in the game, let's see who is leading. Oh, actually, we're still a little bit behind live action. Let's just speed it up to try to get back to live action here. Speed it up to get back to live action. And there we go. Okay. Looks like the red team is well and truly ahead and in a very comfortable position right now. Swain is going for his Rod of Ages, presumably, but here we look like we're going to have a gank right here. Swain, that never move is not going to hit anything. Going to get buster shotted away. Xin Zhao going to dash in. Trist will fall to the damage over time of Swain right there. Swain also falling in the fight. Now, is Mookie going to be able to finish off this jungle Maokai? He is getting very, very low. One more hit should do it, and red buff will actually polish it off, get the kill. Mookie going to 5-1-1 on the game, and guys, I swear I did not pre-watch this. I am actually watching this live as I recorded the commentary, but Mookie's having a really nice game here, which is good because, you know, obviously want Mookie to do well in this particular match. Anyway, Vlad is disconnected, so we'll see what happens there. There in top lane. Wow, that spear was not close to its target from Nidalee. Meanwhile, a fight going on in bottom lane. Soraka getting exhausted. Soraka dumping her heal on herself. One more hit will do it right there. And Kate is going to continue to snowball further ahead. The number of minion kills is actually identical between Cog and Cake, 57 to 56. But Kate has all those kills, and that does make a difference. Anyway, this is not a fight that Mookie wants to take on. He is getting knighted. He is not going to make it out of there. And Trist is going to say, thanks for the double buff. So yes, red and blue buff being transferred over to AP Tristana. So this is, even though red team is super far ahead, that little play is going to help them out quite a bit. And we'll see if Vlad doesn't come back, then this may end up swinging over to the other team's side. Even though red team has been almost completely dominant in this match thus far. Very low farm for both teams, though, is one thing I'll point out. A lot of kills, but the farming it really has not been there for this particular game. Anyway, we'll see what happens next. Looks like AP Trist is going to get her blue buff here, getting that blue donated from Maokai. Up in top lane, Nidalee pushing this tower. Again, they really need to send Xin Zhao up the top. They can't just send no one to top lane when a disconnect happens. And when that happens, a jungler has to take over and hold the lane. So we'll see if Mookie shifts up there. But otherwise, they're just going to give away that tower and give away all the farm in that lane for absolutely nothing. So he really does need to shift up there to cover that lane, at least until Vlad gets back. If Vlad doesn't get back, then they're going to be in a lot of trouble for this particular match. In the middle lane, we don't see too much going on at present. Maokai is set up for a gank. Caitlyn has gone back to buy, has picked up the BF sword. How much gold does she have? 4,000 on the game. She should be a lot higher than that, but she's, 65 minion kills is not that great at the 14-minute mark. It's rather low. So we'll see how the laning matchup goes. If Xin Zhao doesn't jungle, he has to be played in top as sort of a tanky bruiser champ. One of the problems there, though, is he just gets outdone by most other tanky bruisers. Anyway, there is the dash in. There is the knockup with a 3-talon strike. And we'll see with the sustain on those auto attacks, Mookie may be alright in this particular lane. Here comes Trist as well, though. So this could be a problem. We'll see. But looks like he's going to ward just as Trist gets there. And that is going to work out just fine for Xin Zhao. We do have a kill in bottom lane here. Jumping in as well is the Maokai coming in. And is Caitlyn going to be able to get out of this? It looks like she is. Yes, as Maokai steps on the trap, Kate will escape from this. So it ended up being 1-for-1 as Volibear did fall in that fight while that was going on. And another fight going on in top lane. Nidalee retreating here. Snow Bunny and Nidalee having to leap out of there once again. And it looks like Nuki is winning these exchanges, maybe due to the fact that he does have 5 kills. There he is dashing in again. Will Nidalee be able to get out? One more hit should knock her up right here. Nope, not able to get off that last attack that would have knocked her up in the air. And Mookie, of course, does not have an ignite either because he is jungling. Swain very low in mid, going to be finished off to Tristana right there. Let's go check out how that happened right here. So there was a fight, the two of them were engaged. Swain had his ult popped. How did he end up dying here? Looked like he's fine right here. Oh, there is the explosive shot along with the ultimate. And that's how it ended up happening. Okay, so it looked like he was okay, but as it turned out, he wasn't. And Vlad's back, so we should be back to 5-on-5 again. We'll see how badly Vlad ended up getting hurt from missing all that time. He was well ahead of Nidalee before. Now he's definitely behind in this lane now, since he was disconnected for a good 4 to 5 minutes there. But red team is still definitely ahead. Dragon is back up. and neither team seems to be paying too much attention to it, but it is back up, and that's the main thing they should be focused on. Mookie has a full jungle to clear because he's, of course, been covering top lane, so he can do a nice pass through the jungle if he wants to, and then head down towards Dragon and look to see if they want to fight there. They're pretty far ahead. Yeah, red team's pretty far ahead in bottom lane, so they should be safe to take that Dragon if they want to. No, actually he's going to stick around here and set up for a gank. I really think he should go and clear his jungle because literally every single camp is up. That's not the time to be ganking. You want to be ganking when your jungle is mostly on cooldown, when most of the camps are respawning. So yeah, like I said, when there's that much stuff up for you to do in your jungle, you generally want to be taking that. Anyway, Triss does have 5 kills. She also has 3 deaths. And Nidalee is about to hit 100 CS. Caitlyn's about to hit 100 CS. So the two of them are kind of the furthest ahead as far as actual minion kills go in this particular game. Cog's getting in some nice little poke there with his ult. And this is where the Volibear support thing really starting to fail to pay off. Anyway, we did have a kill in top lane while that was going on. Let's check out what was going on. It ended up being 1-for-1. So here we go. Vlad and Nidalee engaging. Nidalee going to pounce in. There's the Vlad Hemoplague ult. He's using his pool. That ignite is, and the ignite in the Hemoplague is going to finish off Trist, but then, or not Trist, going to finish off Nidalee, but then Trist going to get the kill. Here comes Swain and Xin Zhao in after Tristana, and she is actually in a lot of trouble here. She doesn't realize that Swain is also on her way, also on his way up here. But a one well-placed rocket jump may get her out of here, and yeah, it looks like Trist is gonna be okay. Somewhat surprisingly so, but turned out okay. Now, critique for Mookie: red buff, blue buff, both sitting here for ages not being taken, and also Dragon sitting here for ages not being taken as a jungler. I know that this is sort of a wacky game with the top disconnecting and all, but as a jungler, you really need to clear those camps. You can't just leave them sitting there for minutes on end without being used. The red and blue buff are such important resources. You have to put them to good use. Anyway, we're fast forwarding to get back up to the live action because it was I rewound before. Anyway, let's go back to normal speed here. We've got a fight going on in bottom lane. Soraka's taking a lot of damage. Thunderclaw's so strong, but nope, Volibear is going to back off and not going to continue on that fight. Wow, Trist and Maokai are also down here. No words whatsoever in the bottom lane for red team, except this one here in the brush. So they are totally blind to these ganks coming in, and that looks like it's going to cost them. There's one kill. Is Volibear going to fall as well? He's going to get knocked back into the wall. I believe he will survive. Here comes Xin Zhao dashing into a 1v3. Here comes Swain as well. Swain should be able to clean up a lot of kills here. Nope, he does not hit the binding. He needs to pop his ult, though. He will be able to finish off Maokai. There it goes. Mookie is very low. Can he manage to survive this? And Mookie, is he going to live? No. Falls to the explosive shot from Tristana there. So exchanging another kill. And that one was pretty close up, but there, Cog going to get taken out by the Never Move Root. And meanwhile, while that was going on, Nidalee took a tower because apparently Vlad also died while all that was going on. And I'm not going to rewind to check that one out. So a lot of action going on. Swain is pinging Dragon. I don't think he can do it by himself. He needs at least one other person down here. But with the lack of attention blue team is showing, they probably can get this right here. Let's see, I'm running at double speed right now to catch back up to the live action. And yeah, they are going to take that with no real issues. So there we go, able to take that Dragon, get a little bit of extra global gold, and now we're basically caught up. This blue buff has sat unused for a good 6 or 7 minutes though. Swain should just do it himself if he's not going to get it donated by his jungler. So that's a bit of a sloppy play. Swain is very blue dependent. Not doing his blue buff is a pretty big mistake. Anyway, so Mookie did die in that last fight. He's picked up a Brutalizer. Looks like he's going for Warmogs as his next item. It feels like a decent choice. I just genuinely don't know because I don't know much about Xin Zhao. He maxed his Audacious Charge first, is maxing Battlecry second, and maxing 3 Talon Strikes last. Again, I don't really know if that's the best. Don't really know if that's the right way to go or not. Just genuinely don't know. Again, the lack of scaling really starting to hurt. The 3 Talon Strike gets his physical damage, and that's really it. And you can see this skill, again, no scaling, the ult, no scaling, so that's why Mookie is going to start to fall off as this game goes on. He has to hope that he's built enough of an early game advantage from getting all those early game kills to be able to make up for the fact that his late game is weak. Anyway, there's 2 champs here, but they are spotted by a ward. There's actually 4 people in bottom lane right now. I don't know why Caitlyn flashed. I think she could have just walked backwards and been absolutely fine. But this ward here, spotting Trist and Maokai, doing a nice job of that, and helping to keep Caitlyn safe, although, like I said, she did flash backwards for some reason. Xin Zhao hanging out here, lurking in the wilderness. Looks like they're going to look to go in and fight Cog and Soraka here. This is worded again. I don't know. I wonder why Volibear keeps buying vision wards. Not sure that he really needs the vision wards, to be perfectly honest. So it's just a 3-on-3 with both junglers down in bottom lane right now. And Swain is sort of lurking. Actually, it's more like a 4-on-4. So it looks like they're going to go in. There is the Volibear going in to engage right now. Dashing in with Xin Zhao. They're doing a lot of damage to Kog'Maw, but it's being healed by Soraka. Manages to keep him alive for a little while. Caitlyn has fallen. Soraka looks like she'll be the next to fall. There she goes. Maokai now underneath the tower. Are they going to tower dive this? They really should not. Just should back off away and be happy with the 2-for-1 that they've managed to pick up. And in top lane, Vlad, is he going to survive this Ignite? Yes, just barely surviving the Ignite in a separate fight. Let's check it out now. Looks like Nidalee went for the dive under the tower. Here comes the dive. There is the Hemoplague. There is the Vlad pool diving under the tower. And yes, that is exactly what happened there. So not a good idea on Nidalee's part. That's how you throw away an advantage when you've gotten ahead in lane right there. So anyway, we'll try to catch back up to normal speed right here. Catch back up. Nope, there we go. Going in. Oh, Tristana trying to rocket jump away, getting caught on the 3-talon strike, and then getting rooted with the never move. Swain is going to go in there, and it looked like he wasn't running his ult for some reason. The tower dive continues on to Maokai, and that is going to get the kill. Swain picks up the double kill right there. So it turned out to work pretty well, although Cog and Soraka are now back again. Swain, you don't want to go in on this. You want to use that never move just to walk away. And that is, in fact, going to take place there. But a surprisingly action-filled game in this, so very much action-filled game here. Swain, you don't want to go in on this, buddy. You're on like 10% health right here. As it is, though, Kate is going to pick off that kill. Kate's starting to get pretty farmed. Oh, just barely enough health onto Volibear to survive that. And no, so much diving. What is Volibear doing? He could get killed by Soraka. No, he's going to pop his summoner heal and go for the kill. Heal baited on the part of Soraka. So no, he knew what he was doing, as it turns out. It didn't look like it. I am not one to trust support Volibear to know what he's doing, but in fact, he did know what he was doing, and Pica del Sol did in fact have that one well under control. So Kate is way ahead, Infinity Edge to BF Sword on Kog'Maw, so that is a huge lead. We have another fight going on in top lane. Try to keep an eye on that. Vlad has ghosted. He's going to use his transfusion. He already used his pool, so can he dodge a Nidalee spear? Nidalee going to flash after him. And that flash with the pounce is going to be enough to score the kill up there in top lane. My goodness, so much fighting in this game. It just seems like someone is fighting every single minute of every single, just at every moment of the game, somebody is fighting someone. But the red team is far enough ahead right now that they should be in pretty good shape to win this one, since they're ahead almost 2-to-1 in kills right now. Let's see, Mookie has picked up his Warmogs. He got a Heart of Gold relatively late. If he wanted a Heart of Gold, he should have gotten it like first or second. He shouldn't be building Heart of Gold after a Warmogs. That's a little bit silly. But does also have the Null Magic Mantle. I have no idea what this build is supposed to be. Your guess is as good as mine, but I suspect we'll find out in time. Anyway, laning phase is largely broken down right now. Kate and Volibear have moved over to the middle lane. It looks like they're going to try to take this tower, which is very low indeed, and that's not a bad goal. Rest of blue team is moving on their way up to mid, but they're not going to get there in time. Volibear just looking to pick a fight. He has built Spirit Visage and Merc Treads. That's also somewhat interesting item choice. But it does seem to be working out for the most part so far in this game. Farming is rather low all across the board. Nobody is over nobody's over 150 CS at the 25-minute mark. That's rather low. Again, it's because there's been so much fighting in this game. People have been getting gold more from champion kills than from farming the minions. Anyway, we'll keep an eye on what Mookie's up to right now. Yeah, he has maxed Battle Cry, and he is maxing 3-talon strike as his last ability. And the damage on this does not get much for more points. It's like 15, 30, 45 plus attack damage. So there actually is no scaling on that either. It just is your attack damage and then a base amount. So yes, this is why people generally don't play him. As I think I've said a number of times in the video. Vlad is pushing on this top tower, so it looks like we're going to have a big fight up here. Mookie is diving into the middle of the enemy team. That never move is just barely going to miss, but it does hit on Nidalee. It does miss Trist. There is the slow coming out. The damage over time is going to pick up that kill on to Nidalee, and now the push will likely come in on this top tower. Never move completely missing. One thing that you want to do as Swain is you want to slow first. You want to use your slow and then use your never move. It's much easier to hit on it that way. I'm not sure if Swain doesn't quite seem to realize that, but the tower does go down. That never move is going to hit, And down goes a Maokai. Now they should immediately transition and go to Baron because they have just killed the jungler on the enemy team. So the other team has no smite, so they would be able to get Baron rather easily if they transition to it. I see the pings coming out. Let's see if they'll choose to go for it. With Swain's ult, they should be okay in order to get this, but Mookie has run back to mid, and that opportunity to do Baron looks like it's going to go by the wayside. But I'm pretty reasonably certain they could have gone for it there. The enemy team did not have it warded, and they just went back to base, so I think they could have gotten it there. Again, the biggest reason why you would go for it there is because the enemy team's jungler was dead, and that meant they did not have a smite. So as long as Mookie was able to hit a smite, they would have had a Baron pretty much for the taking there. Instead, they're going to do Dragon. That's not a bad call, but they could have snowballed that further ahead by taking the Baron in that particular fight. So anyway, an opportunity there that's chosen not to take. It is safer not to take the Baron, but I think I probably would have encouraged going for it there, just because I think they could have taken it. Anyway, Kate does have Infinity Edge Phantom Dancer, so she is quite strong at the 27-minute mark, whereas Kog'Maw just has BF Sword Zeal, so he is quite a bit behind in his build. AP Triss does have a death cap, but she only has 87 minion kills, and that's quite low. Not quite low, that's extremely low for 27-minute mark. Just really has not farmed, I guess, at all. Anyway, there are pings coming out of Baron. Both teams have it warded, so we may see a Baron fight right here. Two members of blue team hanging out in the brush, but they have been spotted by this ward, so they are not as hidden as they believe themselves to be in this particular fight. Mookie did not buy anything, and he is sitting on 2,200 gold, so that's another bit of a curious decision right there. Anyway, it looks like Volibear wants to initiate right there, going on Nidalee. Out comes the exhaust. That never move is going to miss, unfortunately, for red team. Their team is getting split. They've split Nidalee off from the rest of the team. Maokai popping Shirelius, just trying to run away. Now they turn back on Nidalee and onto Maokai. One of them will drop. A second member of that team will drop. And right now they should do Baron. And if any other call right now is a major mistake, there they go. This is a good decision by the team. Well called, well played. Enemy team once again has lost their jungler, so they have no smite. So Mookie should be able to take this with ease. They'll have a 5-on-3 and a smite up on the enemy team. Let's see, here's Baron's health. It's dropping 2,000, 1,000, and they are in fact going to get that, and the smite was used right here. Trist, oh no, this is not what you want, Trist. Trist is going to use her combo, but it's not quite enough to kill Caitlyn. However, Kog'Maw is going to be able to get that kill onto Kate, so that is going to pick it off. Let's see, are they going to choose to push here? They may be able to push, they could alternately go back to buy. It's really the team's call here. So they ended up going 1 for 1 in that little exchange there. AP Triss did not have quite enough burst damage in order to kill Caitlyn right there. And part of the reason why you do that, that's one of the reasons why AP Triss will often build a Deathfire Grasp, just because it adds to that burst. And if you're playing Trist as an AP, your job is sort of to be like an assassin and try to burst people down instantly. Anyway, we've got a Wit's End. Okay, so the Null Magic Mantle was apparently for a Wit's End. It feels like a solid choice. Again, I really don't know, but it feels like a solid choice against this particular team. Trist is really the only one doing much damage. I guess Kog'Maw's doing some, but I mean, he hasn't even finished his Infinity Edge yet, so he doesn't really do that much damage as yet. Meanwhile, Swain is now up to 8-2, so Swain is getting pretty strong. He's had his Rod of Ages. I think he's got the full stacks on his Rod of Ages. He does have a Will of the Ancients, so he's got the Spell Vamp and the extra AP for nearby teammates. And now he's going for either a Death Cap or possibly a Zanya's Hourglass there with his last item. Really, at this point, red team just needs to group up and push the tower. They should probably just group up and push mid. That's their best play right now. Trist is off here in top lane. They could easily group and push bottom. They could group and push mid, but they're much, much stronger than the enemy team. They're up almost 15,000 global gold. They just need to group as 5 and, push something, because the enemy team is not as strong as them and cannot stand up to them in a straight-on team fight right now. Mookie's pretty tanky. He does have a lot of health. He has almost 3,400 health. He has a decent amount of armor and MR. Not great, but he's going to charge in there, and he does have red buff, so he's slowing on all of these attacks. Never move, missing everything, but it does zone the team away. It has split up the enemy team. Trist and Nidalee are both not here, so they have huge numbers in just pushing straight up the middle lane. Volibear is off in bottom lane for no apparent reason, but the rest of the team is where they should be, just pushing this middle lane. Someone will have to go back to deal with Trist, but again, this is AP Trist, so she doesn't have nearly as much raw damage as an AD Trist would be. Meanwhile, team is horribly split. People chasing middle, people pushing mid, Volibear running around in bottom lane. This is the sort of lack of coordination you'd expect from solo queue. But taking this bottom tower is probably the best play right here. Just take this tower, ignore Nidalee. You should never just run around chasing Nidalee. There is the engage onto Soraka, getting knocked up in the air with that 3-talon strike, forces out Soraka's ultimate. And down there it goes. The tower falls in top lane, but we'll keep an eye on here. Right now, Soraka's still being chased. Cog is doing all the damage, yet Volibear is chasing Soraka. Meanwhile, tower goes down in mid as well. Volibear passive kicking in, allowing him to survive. So that inhib's going to fall in bot. The inhib's going to fall in mid. And why is Mookie recalling here? Why? They can just end the game. You don't need to go back to defend the base. Just freaking end the game here. The towers are down. You know, half the enemy team is dead. You know, just finish off the game and don't dive into the fountain. Yeah, just keep hitting these towers and the game will end. And that will be the end of it right here. So we get a catch on Trist right there. She cannot rocket jump out of that, and Mookie's going to dash in. He did not get the kill. I think Kate actually got it. But there we go. There is the end of this one. So the Nexus is going to explode, and that's going to wrap up this particular match. So, yeah, Xin Zhao. Yes, Winged Hussar Xin Zhao. Who would have thought of that? All right, let's just look here at the stats. You do get the stat screen here, I believe. If not, I can just print screen this, and I'll put it up afterwards if this doesn't come through on Fraps. I don't know. But we'll check it out, and there you can see how people wrapped up. So a successful Xin Zhao game in this particular instance, and Kate and Swain kind of snowballed this one to victory. So support Volibear. It feels really bad, but it did work out this game, apparently. So anyway, we just another game to put up for you guys and show off the gameplay of some other champions there. Anyway, going to wrap it up here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. The fact that we have spectator mode does allow me to do stuff like this, put up more games, and so we'll see how these things work. So let me know if you liked it. I know it was a little bit random, but hopefully it was entertaining and better than having nothing on the channel. So anyway, once again, thanks for watching. Take care. See you guys again soon.